We are very happy to meet you, Barbara. And if you want, you can say a couple of welcoming words. So we are ready to start. All are here. All students are here. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to see you all again. Yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to your presentation and to discuss your final work. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first team, please be ready. It's Anastasia Zhukova and Margarita Radjeva with the topic Hidden Spaces of Kharkov. Welcome. Floor is yours.
Good morning. Today we'll present our chapter uncovering hidden spaces, transforming Kharkiv's urban fabric.
What are hidden spaces in the urban environment? How were they formed and what role do they play in the modern city?
The chapter seeks to address the research question, how do hidden spaces influence the urban and social dynamics of Kharkiv?
By exploring the question, insight into the challenges and opportunities, these spaces offer potential strategies for effectively transforming and integrating into the urban environment.
Defining hidden spaces part shows how attitudes towards and definitions of hidden spaces have changed. We consider Kharkiv's hidden spaces as spaces exciting as remnants.
They consist of large and small areas, public or private, built or unbuilt, which are in some intermediate phase, creating a pause in functionality in the historic part of the city. They may include spaces around buildings, unused rooftops, or empty spaces hidden from busy streets.
In the problematics of hidden spaces, we look at the negative aspects of hidden spaces and why it's so important to city life.
Due to their ill-conceived form and other details, such spaces have a number of drawbacks that complicate their use. They can include, for example, poor lighting, late accommodation, or illegal parking, all of which can have an overall negative impact on the development of these spaces.
Classification of hidden spaces. We divide these spaces into two groups, macro and micro scale. Macro-scale spaces are divided into continuous and discontinuous spaces.
Continuous includes interzonal spaces, that is those located in front of and behind buildings. According to the micro-level classification, these include void space, oversized infrastructure, and wages.
Discontinuous are divided into dual-use spaces and undefined space. The first of them includes the space surrounded by buildings on 2 or 3 sides. According to micro-classification, this includes redundant infrastructure, space around, space between. The last subcategory includes spaces under and above buildings. We can include here space below and rooftops.
The chapter Hidden Spaces in Shevchenkovsky district describes the history of his part of the city and why these places are so important in the history of Kharkiv. Analysis of hidden spaces in the Shevchenkovsky district. We have chosen 4 places in the Shevchenkovsky district of Kharkiv, which we put into one of the categories of hidden spaces.
The analysis begins with the location and accessibility of these spaces, along with their historical context. The classification of each space is examined, its specific function, or lack thereof, architectural features, and interactions with the surrounding environment.
It's located at Ludmila Gurchenko Lane 6, located along a dead-end line surrounded by mostly 2 4-story buildings. This space is hidden from the general traffic flow.
As a result of analysis, we assign the space to category void space. It's located on a wasteland between buildings, which was probably formed due to inefficient construction financing or the demolition of a damaged structure.
In its current state, the space is classified as negative because it reinforces an atmosphere of neglect and abandonment.
Located in Pavlovska Square 4, it's fully accessible to pedestrians and entirely hidden from the view of drivers. A big role in this is played by the specific shape of the building, which protrudes at an angle along one of the streets.
This space can be classified as category wedges because it is located in the intersection of two streets, where the irregular shape of the building cuts the space out of the general fabric, creating a place with limited vision.
Space at the address of Street Danilevskoe 4 is part of the street space almost on the border of the historical center. The street is part of the centralized system of roads, but serves mainly as an entrance to the houses located here.
According to the classification, we attributed this space to type space around, given that it separates street traffic from the interior space of buildings. The uneven line of the first floor only changes the effect.
Located on the street Literaturna 6, the space seems to be submerged in the plan of the street, forming a kind of pocket accessible to pedestrians, but cut off from the road by a pedestrian path.
This space is categorized as space below, a buffer zone between the streets and buildings. Unlike previous space, this one also carries an aesthetic appeal due to landscape design.
However, insufficient care can lead to garbage accumulation and reduce social security. This space positively affects the overall image of the street, enhancing the area's attractiveness.
Conclusion. Kharkiv has a rich history. Thanks to different periods of its development, many hidden spaces have appeared here. Despite being unnoticed, the hidden places are very different from each other, having different forms, function, and influence on the surrounding territory.
Hidden spaces significantly impact the social fabric of the city. They can become sites of neglect, accumulation litter, or illegal activities, increasing crime rates and creating insecurity among residents. However, they also offer potential as areas for community entertainment and artistic expression, providing blank canvas for creative uses.
Hidden spaces in Kharkiv present a unique opportunity for urban renewal and social enrichment. While such spaces may now be minor points in the urban fabric by playing the role of voice or abandoned places, recognizing their potential and implementing thoughtful, inclusive strategies for their development. These spaces can be transformed into a valuable asset for identity and development of the city. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Yes, I remember the last discussion that we had. I mean, the topic is very, I would say, interesting. And I mean, I think you discussed it in a way, or you presented it a bit in a way as like hidden spaces. They are very specific to Kharkiv. I mean, I would say we have this in most of the cities, that we have somehow like hidden places. Yeah. In the end, with the conclusion, I would not too much really go into that. Yeah. So the seminar is really about the understanding. Yeah. Because if you say, well, what could happen here, there is the portfolio, what could happen there is so big. Yeah. So you would then need like more, I would say, even analysis. Yeah. Because it could become, like you showed here, it could become a place for social interaction, but it could as well just simply become a space of build-up area, etc. So I would more put the emphasis really in the like categorizing of the existing hidden spaces, because this, I think, is a good approach that you have done, because you were starting out in the very beginning with the macro and the micro spaces, and then putting the emphasis on the micro spaces. If you go maybe back to, or if you can go back to the page 4 and 5, I think we discussed this as well last time. Yeah, so I think it's really good to have this scale, yeah, where you have like this, the block, the neighborhood area, and then you show how many different hidden spaces you have on that neighborhood. But I don't understand still why you mark just the facade, yeah, because you mean this, you are talking about the space. Yeah, so I don't, I think it's just with the graphical, how to say, graphical expression. I think it's not so much helpful just to put in the facade, but better because you speak about the space than about the volume. And then I was wondering that if you go to the next slide, I don't know this thing, yeah, further, please. You come then in the next scale even more in the, I think 10, 11. Yeah, so I think here, this is then good. You have like, basically you have the two scales, the neighborhood scales where you show the different types of hidden spaces you have. And then you go here more into detail. But here the drawings or the maps, they are as well, or they are still very abstract. So the question would for me, whether you can here show a bit more detail. Yeah, when you were explaining, I got really more information about the quality. Yeah, but here, for instance, you have just so you could show what is the surface, what is the first floor, yeah, which is very much, I would say, having an impact on the quality of the hidden space. Yeah, and here the information, even you have a more detailed scale, remains very much as you have on the page 4 and 5. Yeah. So the question would be for me whether you can improve here or you can add more information. Yeah, like I said, about the functions that you have, about the surface that you have, about the ground floor, that you get a bit more the atmosphere. You have on the right side, you have small pictures or them photographs. Yeah, that gives you a bit the information. Yeah, but in the drawing, it's very abstract, so maybe you can that even improve a bit. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear team Hidden Spaces. So let's move to the next team with Горячева Алена and Чуйко Олена, and the topic e-participation. Welcome.
Good morning. The topic of our work, digital governments and citizen engagement, the participation platforms in Kharkiv. The main goal of our work is to find out the current state of your participation development in Kharkiv, as well as the analysis of problems faced by participants and organizers of your platform. Kharkiv has enhanced your participation, enable residents to engage in decision-making and city improvements through your online platform for petition, voting, and services. These advancements have improved government and public interaction, making your participation essential in modern urban policy. The chapter explores key initiative and the benefits of your participation for Kharkiv citizens. Next.
Your participation in Ukraine is critical for fostering transparency and citizens' engagement in the decisions-making process. It's helped bridge the gap between government and citizen, promotes inclusivity. Every year, a percentage of interested person grows, and your participation in Kharkiv comes a new level, and there are no limits on. The class shows the development of Kharkiv from the ordinary industrial city to the smart city and nowadays. Next.
Kharkiv has a history of innovation, starting in 1998, when Alexander Popov connected citizen rights online, allowing residents to engage in governments. In 2011, the city opened a one-stop shop for innovators. Your participation using ICTs is key to Kharkiv smart city development, improving government and citizen involvement. The 2020 and 2030 strategy includes restructuring government, enhancing services, and modernizing the economy to meet smart city standards. Next.
In Kharkiv, participation initiatives have been gauging traction of Yekhan civil engagement and improve governments. Some key initiatives include online platforms, mobile apps, open data portals, virtual town halls, and we examined them on the example of popular platforms such as Yermilov Center and City Council. For example, the platform Yermilov Center is famous for events and online exhibitions, and the City Council website has a huge database of information. The following local analysis of Verabasheva and Central Park platforms in Kharkiv. Considering these two platforms, we understand how convenient they are for the use of ordinary people, citizens, and guests of the city. What services they provide us. With the help of development platforms, we the opportunity to remotely approach and use the services of city and choose the desired services or to places or other gods. And of course, such an important platforms as Kharkiv Metro is an important tool for environments and safety of passengers. Passengers can also use the platforms for feedback to metro operators, reporting problems and suggestions or feedback. Next, please.
This diagram shows how citizens can use the analysis platform and suggests that at the moment many platforms contain more information about upcoming events and platform services in general than help citizens to communication with the government and influence the development of the city through their participation. And if they can, it is at the local level. Next. Kharkiv's electronic platform for citizen engagement and government feedback are less advanced compared to the countries. In 2011, Kharkiv opened the administration service directors, a one-stop center for innovators. It offers an online application, documents tracking, and code storage and service to 1,000 clients daily. The center provides effective service, including same-day document issuance. Next.
This section develops into the concept of your participation in Ukraine in outlines in integration of IKT to facilitate interaction between citizens and government, allowing expression of options or feedback on governmental actions. And in conclusions, your participations in the use of digital technologies to improve citizens and discussion-making process at city level. In the context of the city of Kharkiv, your democracy research can include analyzing various aspects such as the availability of online platforms for participation, the level of citizen engagement, the effectiveness of your tools, and their impact on city governments. In general, the development of your participation in Kharkiv has demonstrated that digital technologies can effectively promote active civil participation and development of urban communities. Continued works in this direction will contribute to further of democratic institutions and improving the quality of life in the city. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much for this. You pointed that out in your conclusion. Yeah, how important this issue is, and you were explaining how this e-participation contributes to new formats of urban planning and urban governance, which play like more and more a crucial role and supports democratic planning. It's really interesting to read, and as well, I think you learn a lot in your contribution how this developed so far in Kharkiv. I was wondering a bit in general how you address this topic, because you focused very much on this issue. Okay, what is the e-participation? Which platforms do exist? And in what manner they are organized, etc. But what I'm a bit missing is, and this is the focus of the seminar, yeah, is how is the impact of your topic, so this is the e-participation, how is the impact on the urban territory, on the urban landscape, on the urban space of Kharkiv? Because you were shown, okay, there are the platforms and there are the centers, and then you have the text is all well organized as well, the graphics. But what is a bit missing, really the relation of the urban space and the e-participation. For instance, yeah, so if you have one platform, you could, for instance, you could map what, who is, from where are the people participating. So to get the data, well, if we speak about the population of Kharkiv, yeah, how many people are using that you get, like, yeah, then information of, is that 50% or 1% of the population that are participating? Or if you have you have the different locations, where is the impact, yeah, whether it's the metro or it's a territory where the people discussed how it should be developed. If you would map, yeah, which territories are impacted for the transformation by the e-participation. I don't know whether you understand what I mean. It's about really a stronger linkage, yeah, of to the urban space. So this is my general comment. So beside here, so this everything is well organized, yeah, and I think you, like I said, you learn a lot, yeah. But this the specific relation to the urban fabric, and I know this is in your topic, since it's the e-participation, yeah, it's even more challenging, yeah, and Iman agrees, yeah, he knows about this, how difficult then is to make first, at the first glance, non-physical aspects, to make it physically in a map. But yeah, this would be my comment. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. I want to add and ask about it. As you can see, this is one of the pages that they tried on the left side to show the territory that is assigned to this e-participation, and the other platforms, they try to find the specific related urban area that platform could contribute it for the improvement of those areas. When you said, you mean the general impact of these e-platforms on urban spaces, because we thought maybe narrowing down this and finding related e-platforms for specific locations maybe would be more clarifying and helpful.
Yeah, I was thinking, for instance, you know, you have, for instance, you have a master plan or a general plan. Yeah, so all the territory is covered. So more or less. And then it would be interesting for me. So it's a serious question. Yeah, it would be interesting to have a map for, I don't know, for Karlsruhe or for Berlin too. Yeah, to see, well, there's a general plan and we have 100% general plan. And then how much is covered by e-participation? Yeah, is that territory like 5%? Yeah, or 10%? Yeah, so this would be like one thing, yeah, just in terms of the space. And the other thing is then about the population. And then this is even like, so first this is it's just about the volume of, or the number of people. Yeah, so just have to have an understanding how many people are engaged in that in total. And then, and it's really difficult. So I can't tell you, okay, how to draw this. Yeah, but if you then, if it's possible to show where the people are located who are participating. Yeah. So maybe this is even not possible, but it would be interesting again. Yeah. So to see this relation of people who are distributed among the city, yeah, and how they impact or how they are contributing to the e-governance or to the e-participation.
Oh yeah, because they did here specifically, for example, in this page, the platform and the area. I think it should have a little bit more maybe details, or as you said, maybe the overview of the city, and then figuring out, okay, which one of these e-platform assigned to which part of the city. Then maybe that more clarifying. Yeah. Thanks. Did you get
Okay,
it?
thank you very much, Alona and Elena. Yeah, I think we will discuss it anyway. And I would like to welcome the next team, Arina Бабенцова and Vitalina Вербовецька, with the team Development of Facade in the Nauki Avenue. Welcome. Floor is yours.
So good morning to everyone. We like to present to your attention our topic, transformative evolution of facades on Nauki Avenue. Our main goal is to analyze and study the facades of buildings on Nauki Avenue and understand their changes over time, identify the reasons for the transformation of facades, how different periods and influence architectural styles, and the appearance on facades. Importance of facades in architecture evolution. By conducting a thorough analysis of the topology and transformation of facades, examining the factors driving these changes, identifying patterns of evolution, and assessing socio-cultural impacts, the aim is to gain a deeper understanding of how facades contribute to the urban fabric and reflect the character of Nauki Avenue. Evolution of Nauki Avenue. Analyzing historical maps, we identified several periods, thanks to which we can trace when the city was actively built up. Each period influenced architecture and a certain style in the construction of buildings, which was reflected in the appearance of the facades.
The evolution of facades is due to many factors, such as technological, functional, social-cultural, and aesthetic aspects. We have graphically displayed the main variation of facades of different styles and eras that are presented on Nauki Avenue. Also, for a better understanding of what influences evolution, we have selected characteristic pictures.
The Stalin era and its architectural influence. On this slide, we begin to analyze the style of Stalinist neoclassicism. Using the example of facades from this period, we will outline the main features of this style. This table helps to see the analysis of a building of a given period and identify its features. In this table, we have included the main indicators of styles. This table will help you analyze the style and compare them later.
The period from 1950 to 1990 saw a significant change in architecture styles. The Flambeau Empire and Soviet neoclassicism were replaced by a new era of practical and functional modernism. This architecture approach emphasized simplicity, conciseness, correct proportion, and a clear relationship between the form and function of buildings. We have also analyzed this style by category and described in this table.
Contemporary architecture on Nauki Avenue post-2000 analysis. The modern architecture along Nauki Avenue is characterized by the high-tech style, which integrates advanced industrial components into building designs. This architectural style emphasizes technology and innovation, with industrial materials such as glass, metal, concrete, and plastic frequently used as primary building materials. These materials contribute to a modern and technological aesthetic.
As one of Kharkiv's central arteries, Nauki Avenue has witnessed significant change in the appearance and style of its building. Each of the styles has left its own mark on the appearance of the avenue. On this slide, we presented the result of analysis of facade styles in the form of a timeline, and we also visually applied all the information from the tables on specific facades on Nauki Avenue in the form of an explosion diagram.
Transformation on Nauki Avenue. The map shows the transformation of part of Nauki Avenue during various periods of significant development of the street. This diagram helps us see the development of the street and how its facade is changing. Having analyzed and divided the transformation into periods, we can indicate what problems arise during the evolution of facades on Nauki Avenue.
Architecture dissonance between new and historical buildings. Visually, we presented to see some conflicts such as hate conflict, conflict between styles, and you can also see the visual profile of the street. Also, in order to visualize the conflict between facades that have arisen as a result of evolution, we presented the current situation on Nauki Avenue. The photos clearly show us the conflict between hate, style, and the overall perception of the avenue. Next slide. And the more analyzing and comparison a panorama of the street based on the transformation we presented highlighting the conflicts. Next slide. After analyzing the facades on Nauki Avenue, we draw significant conclusions about the complex interaction between architectural styles, historical context, and urban development. Studying the evolution of facades from the Stalinist era to the modern high-tech allows us to identify the underlying narratives that have shaped Kharkiv's architecture identity. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And if we just here look at the slide, I think it would be great for all of those, for the common reader, I would say, who is not so familiar with the city, whether you can, for instance, show where are the buildings located. And of course, I mean, this avenue is a huge territory. I think we discussed this last time a bit. You have to make sure, I think, that that your maps are visible or readable. So, for instance, if you go to page 7, please. I think you have there as well the strip of the avenue. 7, yeah, here. So for instance, I think so, because this is even as well as an introduction. Yeah, it's really, I think it gives you a lot of information, but I would zoom at least this map on the whole page. Yeah, and I would what you have the columns on the bottom, I would put on another page, or on the, yeah, you can put this just on the left side, but even that it's bigger, yeah, because now it's very little. And if you have this later on in a print version, it would be good to have it a bit in a better quality, or just in a bigger size. And similar, I think it's on page 14. Yeah, this as well. Yeah, so I would really somehow zoom this, yeah, because it's and you have then you need like double pages, or but these are so little, so you're missing really a lot of, I would say, interesting information. Yeah, because it's you have, I would say, in the information, you have a lot of details in your drawings, but these are hardly visible. So I would just really zoom that. And I would emphasize, or even add some information. Yeah, you can even put in like names for like important buildings. You can just write in, and you can even write in the crossing streets. So for better orientation, where are you? And I mean, you see, you have here still a lot of, I would say, space. So because it's really a nice interpretation, or very like interesting drawing, but to get more information inside. And one question is, you have here the period 1950 to 1990, yeah. And of course, this is a very huge period. Yeah, so I was wondering whether whether you have like maybe the 50s, 60s, and then the 70s till the 90s. But this is up to you. But the general remark would be really to put some more information in it and to show it better if you zoom it and then you have more, how to say, more pages. Yeah, these are my comments. Yeah, thank you very much for this interesting presentation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move to next team, special transformation with Victoria Іщенко and Svetlana Nazarenko. Welcome. Floor is yours.
Hello everyone, our topic is spatial transformation of the urban frame in Sazhen Yar Green Corridor development. Sazhen Yar Park is a vital part of Kharkiv, reflecting the city history and development. It has evolved from natural forests and fields to a well-designed landscape with ponds, passes, and flower beds. The park features diverse architectural styles from neoclassical to modern and plays a critical role in preserving biodiversity, providing habitat for various plants and animals. Additionally, it serves as a key venue for cultural and social events, making it an essential recreational and community hub.
This slide shows a scheme indicating green areas and their location in the center of Kharkiv city. Sazhen Yar Park is an integral part of this green infrastructure, enhancing the city's biodiversity, providing recreational areas, recreational space, and contributing to Kharkiv ecological balance. Scythian settlement, ancient settlement with archaeological finds from 1946 and 2006. 8th century small settlement owned by Skripal with 32 men, 2 ponds and a mill. From 1968 to 1980, the green areas of the park were transformed. At first, there was only a mineral spring in the area. Green areas and recreational areas were enlarged. The park became more frequented and by adults and children.
1918-1919 botanical research under Dr. Kravchenko. 1984-1994 the botanical garden research plan introduction, accumulatization, heterosis, and metagenesis in woody plants, and selection of new species for landscaping. Current botanical garden located on 2 sites totaling 41.9 hectares. Part of Kharkiv National University, named after Karazin, comprises 5 research departments, focuses on ecological and biological studies of rare and endangered Ukrainian plant species, houses over 1,000 species and forms of ornamental, deciduous, and coniferous plants in the Department of Dendrology. On the page, there is a scheme showing regional roads, provincial roads, district roads, passages roads, and the metro station Botanivsky Sad. To get to the Sazhen Yar Park in Kharkiv, you can use the following ways: public transportation, such as buses or shuttle buses that pass close to the park, personal car for a self-drive trip, parking lots for car are provided in the park, and pedestrian road.
Sazhen Yar Park uses only natural materials to cover the path and playground equipment, ensuring safety and comfort for visitors. Bicycle paths are designed without crossing pedestrian paths to ensure the safety of children and the elderly. All paths are lit in the evening and are equipped with informational signs and rest hours. The park is constantly being improved to increase the comfort of visitors.
On the next page is a diagram showing the ratio of positive to negative reviews of Sashen Park. The text noted that recent reviews of the park are varied. It is praised for its convenience and variety of recreational activities, but also noted for noise and overcrowding, its hot weather, as well as infrastructure deficiencies such as streetlights and trash cans. This chart showing the positive and negative aspects on the park in percentage. This slide summarizes in the main problem of the park. One is garbage due to frequent visits by youth and other visitors. Garbage often accumulated here, negatively affecting the park architecture and environment. Two, it's poor spring water quality. The water in the spring can have negative effects on human in the soil. And three, Topley Lake. The lake has a large number of shrinking trees, which is harmful to living organisms and ecosystem, as harmful substance accumulated in the water. Wood at the bottom of the lake can cause decomposition of organic materials and heating of the water.
This slide shows a map of the park with significant locations marked. Church of the Icon of Mother of God, Joy and Comfort, sports field, table tennis ground, font, suspended bicycle bridge, lake, animal training zone, decorative concrete canopy, shower fountain cloud, playgrounds, bench showers, and cable car.
Since 1971, the cable car in Kharkiv has provided a quick connection between the city center and Sokolniki district. It became especially important before the opening of the Pavlovo subway in 2004, and in 2012 the road was renovated, which maintained its efficiency and safety. And the last one, its conclusion. The transformation of the Sashen Park in Kharkiv successfully balances the development of the city with the pedestrian of natural and cultural heritage. It satisfies regional and environmental needs while improving community life. Despite challenges such as wastel management, it often valuable lessons in sustainable urban planning, emphasizing the integration of natural and built environment, accessibility, and environmental sustainability. The park receives as an example for other cities. That's all. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much for this topic. Yeah, we have two topics in the seminar in that semester who are dealing with open spaces, with green spaces very much, yeah, which I think is great, since they are like a big assets and in the city of Kharkiv. If you can go please to the page 4 and 5. I think it would be good if you double check once more for your whole work the precise titles of your figures. Yeah, for instance, here on the left side you have like historical background. Yeah, so this is very like this is very general. Yeah, but I mean these headlines are very specifically related to your drawing, so you should check this. And on the right side you have even like you have two I would say you have, or I maybe I didn't get I did not understand this, because you have or environmental hazards. Okay, this is the percentage, and then you have it's on the overall map. Yeah, and here would be the question about the size again. Yeah, I guess that you have these different greens, yeah, which I think is good, where you show there are the public gardens, there are forest areas, etc. But you have to make sure that it's in that size visible. So this is then the question whether you, I don't know, even combine larger areas, or because now it's so small, the dots, and then you can't realize what type of green that is. And I have one more question or remark to the next pages. I think there you have two crucial aspects, yeah, on page 6 and 7. Yes, here. The one is the typology of green areas. This is a very interesting issue, but so far there are no typologies really elaborated. So because if you explain a typology, then I would guess that you show what is the form, what is the function, who is the user. Yeah, so there is a bit of information in the text. Yeah, but yeah, this would be really interesting to say, well, I have different, so as we know, typologies of buildings. So if you come up with the typology of the green space here of the park, but then I would estimate other information, and this would be as well great what you could show in drawings. And the other interesting issue is the accessibility. Yeah, very good that you addressed this topic, and you were explaining how people reach the territory, how they reach the park by private car. They say, well, there are parking areas provided, or by public transport. But I think here this map should then improve there, because the map doesn't show the accessibility. And you have as well, you have you have here type of roads. And I don't know, this is a comment going to the whole group. There is a mistake in using the type, how to say, the layout. You have park accessibility scheme, and then you have again type of roads. Yeah, so but this is, I can discuss maybe later with Iman as well. No, but what I want to tell, you are saying that's great to have the accessibility, but the accessibility is difficult to understand in this map, because you have the type of roads. Yeah, the type of roads, this is fine. Yeah, you say, well, this is a priority road or it's a district road, but this doesn't give me the information of accessibility. So you should really show, well, is the public transport running, and there I have, I know there is the information inside, but I say you have to emphasize this in order to better understand. So how do I get there? Yeah, or where do people the most come to, and how do they approach from the street to the park? So really address and where are the main accesses by pedestrians. So you have this a bit in the text, you explain this a bit, but yeah, just would be just I think good to map this more clearly, because if you explain this, of course, how to reach this is an interesting issue to tell about. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the team, and let's move to the next team with Maxim Lysachenko and Nazar Kuzmin, and the topic transportation of Kharkov city. So welcome, floor is yours.
Good morning, dear colleagues. The topic of our article, the transformation of Kharkiv's railway infrastructure. Kharkiv's transport infrastructure has undergone significant transformations from its inception in 1887 as a critical railway transit point in the Russian Empire to its present-day status. These changes highlighting the dynamic interplay between urban growth, industrialization, deindustrialization, and the impact of modern conflicts. The chapter explores the comprehensive transformation of Kharkiv's railway system, examining how these factors have influenced its evolution and its subsequent impact on urban development and transport accessibility. Our study delves into the historical context of Kharkiv railway development, emphasizing the critical growth, stagnation, and modernization phases. The analysis extends to the spatial organization of transport networks, focusing on the evolution of transport accessibility and the development of intermodal hubs. Guided by the question, how has the transformation of railway infrastructure impacted transport accessibility and urban development in Kharkiv, this chapter provides insights into the challenges and opportunities presented by urban evolution. Transformation processes in urban environment are multifaceted and extensive. According to common interpretations, transformation involves large-scale changes over long periods of time, influenced by a wide range of causes, which with each case being unique. Let's consider the general aspects of the development in Kharkiv railway infrastructure. The railway to the city, built in 1871, Kharkiv was a transit point in the movement of trains from Donbass to the political centers of the Russian Empire, such as Moscow. During the USSR period, its convenient geographical location made Kharkiv an important railway junction, which in process of industrialization from a transit point first became a point serving railway traffic and then turned into a large industrial center. The increase in population in response to increasing importance of the city led to even greater development of transit in general. Our research focused on rail transport, specifically trams, metro, and trains. Based on available sources, we identified two significant periods: 1887 to 1915, marked by the introduction of trams and railways, and 1941 to 2018, characterized by an established tram system influenced by metro and population growth. It should also be noted the influence of factors of industrialization, stagnation, and since 1980 with gradual deindustrialization. Having identified the main periods of interest, let us consider the development of the railway infrastructure in more detail. Since the introduction, the city's railway transport has been characterized by a division of types of railway transport according to functional purpose. The tram is public transport and the railway is industrial transport. This division lasted until the 1980s. With the introduction of the metro, the process of combining separate infrastructures, often duplicating each other, into a transport and logistic infrastructure began, where each transport had its own role in citywide logistics. This unification is also due to the loss of importance of industrial zones due to the influence of the deindustrialization process. By 2018, the first results of optimizing the transport infrastructure are visible. The metro is increasingly replacing the tram in the historical center of the city, and the tram has been developed in the periphery of the city. However, by 2022, the city faced a new challenge. Next, Nazar Kuzmin.
Transformation in such significant parts of the city as transport infrastructure possible only under the influence of large-scale factors, one of which is war. While it is not yet possible to fully assess the impact of the modern conflict on Kharkiv, specific processes can be tracked. The importance of such characteristics as safety, accessibility, and sustainability in development is increasing. The importance of the metro as the main type of public transport is increasing. In addition to the safety of the metro itself, it is worth mentioning the possibility of a connection industrial areas that are under fire. Any ground movement near industrial areas is dangerous. In this case, the tram loses in safety and will also not be able to operate near dangerous areas. The railway, as part of military logistics, is also becoming unsafe. Thus, the metro is the only transport option that can reduce the risk of such a factor as well. For further analysis of railway transport, a criterion is needed to assess the impact of transport system. Transport accessibility is one of the most important. The concept of transport accessibility is widely regarded in theory, the praxis as a key indicator of special development possibilities implemented within the framework of transport infrastructure. The standard parameter for assessment is pedestrian accessibility of transport. Is modern urban planning practice. This is 50 minutes in Kharkiv. Inaccessible territories only began to open in 1941. Generally, centricity can be observed. The further from the center, the more complex and longer it is to access transport. So why did inaccessible areas only begin to appear in the 1940s? Next, Maxim.
Gold proposed that the territorial size of cities has limits determined by vehicle speed and the 30, 40, 45-minute travel time. In a pedestrian city with a walking speed of 5 km per hour, the radius limit is 2 km. The tram exceeds these indicators with a speed of 16, 18 km per hour and a range of 8, 9 km, while the metro operates at 30, 40 km per hour with a 15, 20 km radius. By the 1941, Kharkiv has already exceeded the spatial boundaries of trams and pedestrians, and by 2022, it has already approached the metro limit. In accordance with these conditions, an isochron was constructed. Integral accessibility involves determining the travel time from point A to point B, and it's tied to the transport infrastructure under study. The easily accessible area is confined to the city center, reachable from most parts of the city in 30-45 minutes by all considered transport modes. It should also be noted that historically in Kharkiv there has been a situation than better accessibility in residential areas. Industrial areas have many barriers that prevent the development of accessibility. Comparing the integral accessibility scheme and the transport accessibility scheme for 2018, you can see that the city has problem with integral accessibility due to the low speed characteristics of tram, first of all. The disparity can be partly eliminated through integration into the transport and logistic infrastructure and optimization of tram routes. However, without a full modernization of tram infrastructure, these methods have limited impact. However, the main decision in Kharkiv was the development of the metro that ultimately connects remote residential areas and industrial enterprises focusing on communication speed. The tram has undergone a transformation from historically the main transport of the city into a function that complements the metro, connecting congested city areas and intra-district transport. There are basically no problem with accessibility of transport, and the existing ones are historical. Next, Nazar.
The evolution of road types is also a reflection and a confirmation of the ongoing process in the infrastructure. At the moment, there are 3 types of road layout. The first is historically significant but ineffective and does not meet modern requirements. Type 2 is already well thought out solution and meets modern requirement. This solution allowed to reduce conflicts and increase the speed of trams. The last type is typical for the period since 1980s and is the most effective and combines many advantages. But this type of road in sections of at least 30 meters. Such highways cannot find a place in dense residential historical development. In general, the combination of several types of transport is possible, but only is in small areas junctions. An example of such a hub is the metro stop Tractorny Zavod. Combining all the existing types of transport in the city, this hub is an intercepting intermodal transport transfer hub. Such hubs connect major city highways and various types of transport, providing passengers with quick and comfortable transfer and allowing them to choose the most rational transportation method. Such hubs are the most important part of the transport and logistics system and are its direct consequence. Similar nodes will probably be created at all entrances to the city over time. In conclusion, the historical analysis of Kharkiv railways infrastructure underscores the profound impact of large-scale industrialization, deindustrialization, and modern conflicts of the city development. Each of these factors has caused transformation and changes in transport. Industrialization acted as a catalyst, propelling rapid growth and transforming Kharkiv into a pivotal transport hub with a comprehensive logistic infrastructure. The industrialization and subsequent population stagnation created a window for modernizing and optimizing transport system, which in turn led to unification in transport and logistics system. The recent conflicts has dramatically affected Kharkiv transport infrastructure. On the contrary, revealing the vulnerabilities of interconnected system. Kharkiv experience offers valuable lessons for urban planners and policymakers. Effective transport planning requires a deep understanding on historical trends, socioeconomic dynamic, and the potential impacts of external events. Prioritizing transport accessibility, sustainability, and community needs is essential for developing resilient transport systems that support long-term urban growth and development. The insight gained from Kharkiv's transportation highlight the importance of adaptive strategies in urban planning, ensuring that transport infrastructure evolves in response to changing needs while preserving the city's historical and cultural heritage. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for this one more interesting really topic. You put the relation of the urban development depending on or in relation with the rail-based infrastructure. And you were saying in the beginning, yes, you're tackling this issue, which includes on the one hand the network of the railway or rail-based system with the metro, with the railway, with the tram system. And just stick to the last slide, what you have, please. Yeah, this and as well with the hubs. Yeah, and I appreciate that you have on the one hand you have a lot of maps, and then you have even the typology. And here you show in the end one of the hubs. What do you want to tell here in the drawing? What is the information I should get? What do you want to show here?
First of all, that this hubs is very big. 300 meters is 5 minutes by walking, pedestrian. So with the intermodal, how to say this, there are many types of transport, and to combine it, it's need many space, but it's we can't find the place in the center of city or another place in the city to these intermodal hubs. So the единственное место, the only place for these hubs is a periphery of the city, because it's
Yeah, I understand this, but you know, the thing is, it's interesting here. You're coming like in a more detail. You're showing, or you can realize, you can understand the space. Yeah, but you are showing here only the systematic issues. Yeah, and even with your legend, yeah, you have, I mean,
some problems with connection.
Yeah, so we don't have problem. Yeah, so Barbara, I think, has problem. Are you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think wait a couple of minutes.
Maxim, think about your answer during this time.
Yeah, Maxim, you have time to
When
think.
someone asks you why did you do that, you don't say because I didn't want to do the other thing. You give the reason for that. Okay. Think about it. So the goal of doing this illustration. Yeah.
Sorry, so I was thrown out back again. So I appreciate this scale and this sketch in general, but it would be good if you show here more information. What is the space of the hub and what are the functions? Yeah, so what are like the different areas? Yeah, because the system of the metro line, yeah, or the cars, that it's the intersection or interconnection of the different transport modes. I have already understood earlier.
There are some parkings because this is intercepting intermodal transport and transfer hub. Another connection.
Wait. Yes, wait, I think. Again. You understood what Professor Engels said, yeah?
Yes, there are small information in the sheen.
Yeah, the
But
reason
I tried to focusing on the this term intercepting intermodal transport.
Professor Engel came, yeah, explain it to her, yeah.
Yes. So there are some parkings because it's intercepting intermodal transport transfer hub. I try to focus in this terminology because it's have function to the city because providing passengers quick and comfortable transfers if these passengers came to the city from another city or periphery of the city, ближайшее поселение. If they have no personal transport, they need some hub to.
Yeah, there's no, you know, it's not a question about this hub and the selection of this. My say is just you have here a detailed scale and you show more information in the map. You know, this is, you have like the intersection, what is happening on the hub. I mean, we know it's a, you know, this intersection of where the people come, where you have different functions, where you have different transport modes. Yeah, you can more information bring in this map. And if you go to the previous page, please, to the Yeah, this one I like as well, that you have beside you, you're showing a lot of like maps with the network, yeah, and now you show typologies, which I think is very good, but you have to explain this differently, because a type is not like the type 80, 87 to 90, 41, yeah, but a type could be as well from a specific time, but it's the question what specific road or street you are talking about. Yeah, so this would be important. So this just is
example,
just to add
a specific example.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is thing, but in general, I think it's very good to have these three scales. Yeah, you have the maps, the network, you have this as a typology, and then you have a detailed hub. And then I have one. I don't know whether it's a remark or a question. You were in the beginning, yeah, you were telling very clearly what is your topic, yeah, that the relation of the city, the urban development was always related to the development of the rail-based infrastructure. And you have three systems, the railway, the metro, and the tram. And I was wondering, because you because you have always the one scale here on the right hand, the city scale. And to my eyes, to your three modes, you would need three scales, because you were in the beginning, you were telling, of course, yeah, the railway has something to do with the overall territory of Ukraine, yeah, or even with the region, yeah. So I think the railway has to be shown in a regional scale. I think the metro has to be shown in the citywide scale, and the tram could be shown in a district scale.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I because I think, yeah, I mean, this is, if I go to another city or if I cross the whole city, I would take the train. But if I go in the neighborhood, I would probably prefer the tram. Yeah. So, and I think you have now, it's good to have on one hand the overall systems in one map, but I think in general you would need different scales. And especially, I think, because I mean, now it's already the end of the seminar, yeah, but maybe you can even include a map with a regional scale. I think this would be very much contribute to your topic if you could a bit explain the regional location of Kharkiv concerning to the railway.
Okay, understand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So just to clarify,
thank you.
Just
sorry.
one moment. Just to clarify, you said three scales: the city, the neighborhood, and the specific space that they are focusing on. Yeah.
No, I was thinking the regional, the city, and like a neighborhood. Yeah, but again, this was just for me. This would be a general approach. Yeah, I think this is now not necessary to do, because you're already in the end. It would have like a lot of impact. Yeah, to create a lot of more. But just to put in now, once a regional scale, yeah, I think is sufficient. Yeah, but this was just a general remark. But with
yes, for general insight for future.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, dear team and Barbara, for the comments. So we have our last team with Polina Вербовецька and Valery Bessarab, and the topic urban impact on the Gorky Park development. So welcome.
Good day, dear teachers and colleagues. Today we will tell you about the transformation of Gorky Park under the impact of Kharkiv's urbanization. Our research focuses on the transformations this park has undergone over time, from the late 9th century to the present day. The aim of our research is to reveal the different ways of transformation that the park has undergone at different stages of its existence, to show how urbanization has affected Gorky Park.
So from the start of our research, we met some complexities, start from the analyzing and source searching. It continued with the perspective of researching when we decided to make a review on the historical transformation of Gorky Park, which happened in parallel to the urban development of Kharkiv. Our point of interest became an adaptability of the object to urban evolution from the scale of its a part of a 1 million city to the points of interest as park elements. And the main question of our research is, how has Gorky Park transformed over the time under the impact of Kharkiv's urbanization? So we started with a situational scheme, identifying the park in the Kharkiv scale and making a review of green spaces situation in the whole city. We admitted that the process of decreasing greenery in the city is a problem which touched our case object in 21st century too. So we underlined the decrease of green spaces presence as a part of the city's tendency. And then we met the next question: what exactly happened with the park and how it's connected to urban evolution of the city?
During its development, Gorky Park has undergone significant transformations, not only external, but also internal, conceptual. Depending on the growth of Kharkiv, the park also changed its role in it. In the beginning, the park was a place for horseback riding. Over time, with the increase in population and the expansion of green areas, it became an important place of recreation for residents of nearby neighborhoods. In the 20th century, with the active expansion of the city and the construction of public buildings, the park became one of the centers of social life in the central districts of Kharkiv. And in the second half of the 20th century, the park became an entertainment center with separate areas for recreation and entertainment. After the reconstruction and creation of the entertainment park, it became an intercity tourist attraction. The park turned from a simple recreational area into a multifunctional cultural, social, and ecological center of the city.
So after revealing how Gorky Park changed its role through the centuries, we came up with a physical transformation of it. At first, we decided to divide it in 3 sections: timeline, maps, and photo timeline, the last representing the main entrance of the park. Starting from the first renovation in the park, we figured out that in the next decade, the park's borders were changed twice, and its development was puzzle-headed. So we explored that before Second World War on the first map, the park was quickly renovated and became a recreational zone in the outskirts of the city. And the second map shows that in the period after, when it had quickly degraded, the whole territory was undeveloped and a few amusement facilities spread around. We can say that from 1990s to 2010s, the park was almost abandoned. But thanks to the hosting of Year 2012, it became a part of renovation of the whole city strategy. It's shown on the last map.
Urbanization of Kharkiv led to gradual improvement of transport accessibility of Gorky Park. We drew maps to show these changes. According to the historical line, first streetcar were built here, then a trolleybus, a children's railroad, and a cable car were next. One of the city's main highways leads to the park, ensuring excellent transport accessibility. The park offers more than 1,000 parking places with separate entrances. Currently, park features numerous pedestrian paths, totaling over 12,000 kilometers.
Next, we show the functional zoning of Gorky Park. We discovered the specific functional zones and presented them on these 2 maps when we divided this area on 3 species: entertaining, sportive, and service. This gives us an opportunity to look how actually increased the developed sites, and where almost all of them took hold the green spaces or significantly decreased them. We also made the minimalistic graphics both at the sides of the maps, revealing the approximate proportion of each area in the 2 different periods. Compare them, we can also declare visible changes which happened with the park in 50 years, becoming from mostly homogeneous green area to smaller territory, which was developed according to common urban needs in the 21st century.
A study of the elements of Gorky Park has shown that the prioritization of outdoor recreation has changed the focus from a traditional recreational facilities to area for dynamic activities for children and adults. The park consists of various landscape and active elements that form its public space. We categorize the park elements by their functional into monuments, interactive elements, and recreational elements. The table summarized examples of each type with their current state. The study found that the interactive structural elements dominate the park, while recreational elements designed for quiet enjoyment are the least. This reflects the new preference of the local community and the strategy of the city government. The transition from the development of green areas to the growth of interactive structures show a less sustainable state of the park. In the 21st century, Gorky Park combines the functions of different types of urban parks, a comprehensive, an amusement, a recreational, and a sport park. This allows us to describe it as a multifunctional recreational park with a predominance of entertainment facilities.
So on these pages, we show the cases of park changes at the final point of our research. At first one, we show 3 places which occasionally changed and identifying how exactly. Our list of changes contains replacement of objects, modernization of them, adding of the new construction to them, and changes of social views. Also underlining how changes the mentality and the preference of these days of the community. The new role of Kharkiv as one of the key cities in Ukraine predicted these changes, and now, for now, the elements of the park, such as Central Park, Fountain, Kids Railway, and the monument and the central entrance, have changed according to the modern community views and needs. And the finishing map shows a comparison of abstract images of Gorky Park in a time of difference of almost 1 century, without calculation of real sizes of the object areas, which is impossible for us. We gathered the information that we collected in our research and applied it into the 2 minimalistic maps, which shows the park had a huge transition through the different periods in Kharkiv. The result shows an increase of the developed canvas of the park from 6 to 21%, and despite the attempts to create a green recreation area for the leisure of locals and tourists, the park has an immense amount of inactive entertaining zones and decreased open green spaces.
So our study of Gorky Park's transformations shows how urbanization impacts green spaces of Gorky Park, how it evolved from a horse riding venue to a modern amusement park, reflecting Kharkiv's growth. Urbanization has both enhanced Gorky Park with modern amenities and reduced its green areas too. This balance between growth and preservation is challenging. While the park is now a central social venue, the loss of green spaces could raise sustainable concerns. Gorky Park is an interesting example of a modern park development that tries to maintain the balance between modernity and nature. The park evolved all along with the city and was a good mirror that reflected the development of the town. Big events like Euro 2012 led to significant infrastructure changes, improving accessibility and recreational facilities, but often at the expense of natural and historical features. Nowadays, the park has become an essential part of the city, being a visiting tourist card of the center of Kharkiv. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you for this presentation. Yeah. I like the way how you present, on the one hand, the maps, adding them with like small additional schemes in terms of statistics, or yeah, just underlining some of your argues. I think that it's a good method. So I just have just like a few more formal remarks. If you could get back to the pages 8 and 9. So just just the following, just to say that everyone knows what I mean. If you go to the following.
Yes.
Or the next one, sorry. Yeah, so here I like this. Yeah, I think it's a good way. You have on the one hand the maps, yeah, and then you have the columns explaining like additional or giving additional information. I think this is then yeah, a good method, and you have like several different ones. Okay, if you go to now to 8 and 9, you have this urban transformation, yeah, with the timeline and with the pictures, but you have the explanation. You have the on the page before, yeah. So if you have somehow to reconfigure, yeah. Maybe you're making the pictures here smaller, or I don't know. But if you go to 7, because you have this on the right side, and you know you could not really understand your maps because the legend is here. So I think you will manage this somehow to reconfigure that you have at least the legend, you can somehow place this, yeah, because otherwise it's difficult to understand. And I like this map as well, or I think this is very relevant because you show the city development. But I was wondering whether you could here put an emphasis on really the green areas, yeah, because it's here hardly visible. So I mean, you are showing you're mentioning the constructed phase development of the Gorky Park, or the modern phase of development, but as you are dealing with the green areas, yeah, and you are as well in the text putting an emphasis of what is the relevance of green areas, of urban parks, yeah, and maybe you could show this as well here in the map. How did urban parks, and one of it is Gorky Park, how did they perform and evolved over the time? And last small remark is on page 4, which is like a good introductory map. And I think this comment is not only to you, but maybe as well to others. Yeah, this is a map where you show, or where you put, which is as well really interesting. Here you have this general information about the amount of green that you have related to the population of Kharkiv, and then you have a, because you used or you're using a map that was in original much more bigger, yeah. So you have different gray areas, yeah. But for you here, this is just a build-up area, yeah. So you should just use for the build-up area in general just one gray, yeah, because you have different ones in the map, but just one in the legend. And I mean, in this scale, it's not readable and it's not interesting what type of build-up area it is, what buildings. So this would even support or better make this map readable, to simplify, yeah. And this is sometimes you have this, like you have it on the other map, yeah, where you have the evolvement of the development of the city of Kharkiv, and you could do it as simple as here. But these are more or less all really formal remarks to support the readability and the understanding of your interesting presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lottie.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, everyone, dear teams, dear Barbara, and we were today very good with timing, I can say, yeah. And I would like to ask dear students that, first of all, these helpful comments for readability, you know, reorganization, they are very important. So please do it. So take notes. And if it's something non-clear, you can ask us. Emil is here. So everyone, we are ready to support you. And so we will keep you informed also by email with next steps, so for the atlas development or any other issues. So yeah, so Barbara, for the seminar class, that's it from our side. Yeah,
I have just some maybe final remarks. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for your engagement. So I think you did really a good job. So it's really interesting to read your work. And Nastya said about the good time management. Yeah, but this is as well because your maps are mostly, they are really good, understandable. Yeah, so you see, then you don't need so much explanation. So this is the one thing. And as well, I would now do some efforts just really to get to the point. And there's one question. This is more or a general maybe discussion. I mean, it's really about the readability, since we will do a print version. Yeah, so it becomes really an official, let's say, a book, yeah, booklet. And this is maybe something, Iman, I would like to discuss with you. I mean, there are some maps, I'm not sure whether they are readable or not. Yeah, and Iman, I would think it would be good if you could double check, I mean, together with the authors, yeah, which maybe maps are maybe probably not good, or you are not sure, and maybe you can then make printouts of these maps at the chair to double check. Yeah, because if we look at the Zoom presentation or on the screen, then it's really different than we have printouts. Yeah, and you could maybe go through, and because I mean the majority of the maps, I think they are fine. Yeah, and the ones who are critical, I would just double check. Yeah, and then you can go into communication, because if you don't have the printout yourself, it's I think difficult. So this is then just to make it really the final improvement before publication. And yeah, I would like to thank, beside the participants, of course, to the guiding teaching team, Amil, Iman, and Nastya, putting all the efforts and information about scientific work and graphical interpretation. So yeah, thank you very much, and good luck for your further studies.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Yes, don't worry about the maps because we already checked the text, and the text that you've read is paraphrase text mostly. And I can say in most of the teams, they had time or they didn't. And about the map, definitely, yeah, we will again check it and double check it for the printing as before. But thanks for your comments.
Okay.
And thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. So yeah, we will keep in touch. And Barbara, we have design class at 11. Yeah, it's okay. So the same link, Nadia, Amil will be there. I cannot unfortunately join design class, but I wish good luck for design students, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.